In this video, I'm going to talk about my very first trip to Disney World's Magic Kingdom. See, last year, September 2015, I went to Magic Kingdom for the first time with my wife. We got there about, it was a little after 7 a.m. We got there pretty early. And we took the ferry boat thing across the lake to get to the park. When we got there, what did we do first? Oh, we got there pretty early, so we waited around for about 20 minutes for the welcome show to begin before we could get into the park. I think it was a welcome show. That's what it's called, right? Sure. And then after we watched that was a really cool show. They had the train come in, a few people were singing and dancing or something like that, and Mickey was there and welcomed everybody to his Magic Kingdom, and the doors opened. After that, we went in right away, and I kind of wanted to check things out as we were walking down Main Street. I thought it was kind of interesting. It was my first time being there, but my wife was in a really big hurry to get to the Pirates ride, right? The Pirates of the Caribbean ride. That was something she was really looking forward to, and so we had to quick rush over there to Adventureland and check out that ride a little bit. And when we got to the ride, it said it was closed for maintenance, right? A few days prior, or the few days prior to our visit that day, we heard that the ride was closed for maintenance or something like that. And but the day that we were there, it was supposed to be running again. But when we got there right away, it was closed. So I was like, oh, that's okay. My wife was a little disappointed. I didn't care too much because I'd never been on it, so I didn't know what to expect. I wanted to go on the Jungle Cruise instead then, so I really liked the Jungle Cruise. It seems like the animatronics are probably a little outdated, maybe as old as since 1971 when the park opened. I don't think they've been updated too much since then, but they were simple and really, they were cool. I liked it, but it was really neat riding that boat through the Jungle Cruise and all that animals around. The best part of it, though, was the guide. The tour guide, she would tell jokes and stuff as we were riding through the Jungle Cruise, and she did a really good job making it feel like you were at a legitimate cruise. She even would turn the steering wheel and stuff, and well, the steering wheel doesn't do anything, it wasn't real, but I thought she really did a good job selling that we were part of this legitimate cruise, and she was really entertaining. And it's got to be kind of hard for her to be entertaining since she's doing the same exact thing every 12 minutes. So I was really impressed with that, but it was a good ride. I liked that a lot. And when we finished with the Jungle Cruise, my wife was like, well, let's go over back to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, see if it's better now. And I said to her, I'm like, oh, come on, that ride is closed. We don't need to go to that. We already seen the sign. It's closed today. But sure enough, she wanted to really bad, and we walked by it, and they were just taking down the sign for it being closed. So that was nice. We were able to get in with very little bit of a wait. It was a short ride. We waited maybe 2 minutes to ride that one, and sorry, I'm not editing this video. It's going to be pretty raw. It's going to be unedited, uncooked, and uncut, and I'm calling most of this in the ring. I didn't really prepare for it, so you're going to see me drink soda or tea or something. So yeah, we got on the Pirates ride, and I was really impressed with it was a dark environment and a lot of fog and stuff. Uh, but the animatronics were like really cool looking, right? And I really liked that they had audio, so it would be like the robot characters were you're talking. So when you're floating by them on that boat, you could hear them talking, and I thought it was really they did a good job making you feel like you were in a story. They didn't tell the best story. It was pretty simple, but the scenes that you're floating through were really cool, and it kind of helped you feel like you were immersed in this world. I like that a lot. And then after the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, I think, yeah, we walked over to Frontierland just to kind of look around a little bit, and we looked at some of the rides like Splash Mountain. I wasn't going to do that one. I also wasn't too excited about. Well, I guess I liked watching the Magic Carpet from Aladdin, that ride. That was kind of neat looking. I wasn't going to ride that either. It didn't interest me that much. And my wife really wanted to go on to some of the more or some of the rides that she was more excited about going on right away. So it was not too busy there right away in the morning when we got there. So we were able to, get through our first two rides without any wait. Maybe like 2-minute wait max for those two rides. So that was pretty nice. But then when we were leaving Frontierland after looking around, I saw Chip and Dale walking down the road, and that was kind of neat. They're Chip and Dale. They're a lot bigger than I expected them to be in person, so that was a surprise. They were just as goofy as I could imagine, but we didn't spend much time with them. We just kind of saw them walking around, and then we got to the ride that I was not ride, show, attraction, I guess, that I was most excited about. And that was Mickey's PhilharMagic. We walked by that, and I was really excited about PhilharMagic because I heard Donald Duck is the star of that show, and Donald Duck is my favorite. So we went into the little theater, the PhilharMagic Theater, and the thing I liked most about that show was that you could, smell and feel like the wind and stuff that's going around in the cartoon that you're watching. The thing I liked least was probably the 3D. I'm not a big fan of 3D, but it looked okay for what it is. The best part was at the end where you see Donald Duck. He's like kind of flying toward the crowd in the 3D, and then he crashes, and then Mickey's like, "Oh, let's get on with the show," or whatever, right? And then when you're leaving, you see that there's this big Donald Duck thing like smashed into the wall behind you. So that was kind of fun. It was fun that you got to kind of go along in that story with Donald, and you felt like you were part of the adventure with him. So that was pretty good. Then after we got done with the PhilharMagic, my wife, the exit, you come out into this little shop area, and of course my wife loves to shop, so now she wasn't in a hurry to get to the next thing anymore. She wanted to look around at some of the gimmicks and trinkets or whatever. So I think she ended up buying a couple like a Mickey Mouse pin or something like that. That was kind of neat. And all the t-shirts were kind of disappointing. The art on them the art on it was kind of simple. Nothing too fancy, and most of the shops, they seem to have like the same stuff, so there wasn't really incentive to go to multiple different gift shop areas. But then when we finished with PhilharMagic and the shopping, I wanted to go and meet Winnie the Pooh. So I had to go on the Winnie the Pooh ride, of course. And that was a good one. I think before we went on the ride or after, I can't remember. But we went to a restroom kind of near the Tea Party ride with the Mad Hatter and stuff, and Alice. There's restrooms near there, and we went and used those, and we saw Winnie the Pooh in passing, and he waved to us. So that was the first time I met Winnie the Pooh, and we've been good friends ever since. So that was a pretty good moment. But as far as the Adventures of Winnie the Pooh ride, that was probably one of the longest waits that we had in line when we were there. I think it was about 25 minutes, so it wasn't too long. And the worst part about that waiting in line was that there's this like play area right next to, for kids, right next to the line. So as you're waiting in the line, a lot of the kids that are in line are running back and forth, and they're playing with these gimmicks and stuff, or look like carrots or something, and it was really, I don't know, it was kind of chaotic and loud. So I wasn't too big of a fan of the play area being next to the line. But for the most part, when we were there, anytime we came close or interacted with the other people's children, the kids were mostly well behaved, except for waiting in line at this ride. Right? There was this one lady in front of us, right, in the line, and we didn't realize, but the loud, obnoxious, really poorly behaved children that were in the play area, all 7 of them happened to belong to this woman. And I was not happy about being near them. They were rude and mean, and they were just out of control kids. But apart from that, when we finally got to the ride, it was kind of funny. It was one of the least memorable rides for me, mostly because when the gate thing opened, I went and I sat in the big honey pot, but my wife wanted to wait there right by the gate and take a picture of me in a honey pot, not realizing, for one, you're holding everything up. So that was a little funny. And the gate shut on her, and then they had to open the gate again and let her through. So we were a little distracted about the funny situation that had just happened. So we weren't paying attention too much to the ride that we were going through. But that ride was good. It was simple and a little bit outdated, but you kind of go through a story about, your one part you're hopping or bouncing with Tigger. The other part, there's a storm and heffalumps, and it was kind of fun. I liked it. When you get done with the ride, you feel like, you're a part of the story. So that was kind of cool. And I think after we were done with the Winnie the Pooh ride, we went to Cosmic Rays over in, what was that, Tomorrowland? Yeah, over in Tomorrowland. We went to Cosmic Rays and ate some burgers. And yeah, the food there was really good. The thing that I was most impressed with at Cosmic Rays is that their service was on point, right? So they were really quick to deal with food allergies, right? My wife has a food allergy, and usually when we go places, people would be like, a cheeseburger? Well, there's no peanuts in a cheeseburger. Well, that's crazy, right? But then they don't think, hey, you use peanut flour to make the buns for your cheeseburger. So, um, but when we went there, and I was really happy with how, you know, uh, the customer service, they were really quick and prepared to deal with food allergies. They seemed like, they had a procedure of what to do. They were educated in the situations, in food allergies, and they were willing to take the time to make sure the food would be safe. And the manager came over right away and helped deal with the food allergy. So that was good. It was kind of busy there, but which was really impressed me that they were able to accommodate so easily for food allergies, even though they were busy. So that was really impressive. And then while we were eating, we listened to some really cool entertainment by Sonny Eclipse, right? He was this audio animatronic alien or something, I think he was. Martian? I don't know where he was from. But he was from outer space somewhere. And he would tell jokes and make music happen, and I was really impressed. For a minute there, I was like, this alien guy, he's got to be real. But once it got to be about like half an hour or so of being there, he started repeating himself, and then I realized, okay, maybe he's not really from outer space. It might be a robot. But I thought it was a really neat robot. And yeah, we spent a little bit of time there just kind of relaxing after eating for a few minutes, and made a plan of what we wanted to do next. And when we finished at Cosmic Rays, I can't really remember what we did next in the exact order, but I know we ended up going to the laugh floor, right? Is that what it's called? The Monsters Inc. laugh floor? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was the Monsters Inc. laugh floor or something like that. Yes, Monsters Inc. laugh floor. And that was pretty cool. I think it was really crowded waiting in line for that one because it's just a big hall and a lot of people in this one area. But then when we got in there, we sat down. It was nice and comfortable. And the cartoon guy is telling jokes, and it's, seemed like it was, at first it seemed like even though they would put people in the audience on the screen and interact with them, it didn't seem like it was improv. It seemed pretty generic, like simple responses to whatever the people would say or do. But then as it went on, I realized that it was improv. Everything was being improvised, and I was like, how does that work? How do you make the cartoon, do things you want it to so quickly to react to the situations? And it was really fun. I liked it a lot, and it was really impressive. The jokes were, lame and goofy, but they were funny, and it was just impressive how they were able to make you feel like you're participating in the show, because you were. And yeah, that was a good one. I'd suggest doing that. And we also did the Peter Pan flight ride. I think we used our fast pass on that, which was pretty cool, that we were able to get to one of the busier rides pretty quickly. That one was one of my wife's favorite. I really liked it too. When we first got on it, I didn't like that it's still moving, right? And you step on this like conveyor belt, so you're moving with it, so you can get on it easy. It still makes you feel like you're off balance, and there's a little clumsy trying to get on it. It feels like, but I don't know how you would do that if you had a disability or something. Like, how would you be able to get on that ride? Yeah, I don't know. Would they stop it for you to make it easier for you to get on? But anyways, once you get on, you're on this track on the ground for a little bit, and then you see the track kind of like curves up, and then it ends, and there's a bed with a little kid doll in there, right? I'm thinking, oh, there's no way. Am I going to take a jump or something, or I'm going to crash? I didn't know what to expect, and then I just start flying, right? I don't know if they took some pixie dust or something and sprinkled it on there right when I wasn't looking, but the track ended and I was flying, okay? And then I was a little nervous when we were up there at first because there's a lot of creaking going on, and I'm thinking, you know, whatever I'm hanging from, I don't know if it's going to be strong enough to hold my weight, because I'm a lot bigger than some of these people I saw getting on this ride. I weigh a little bit more. I didn't know if it was going to hold me up, but it did, and the scenes were really cool. I was a little like less impressed with how if really they did a good job moving you around, making you feel like you were flying and soaring through the air. Like, that was cool, but what really made me feel like I was in the story was how perfectly the scenes were set up. They really did a good job making it feel like you're progressing through the story of Peter Pan, and it was a lot of fun. And then getting off of it was scary too, because you're moving and you're jumping on a conveyor belt, but it was all right. And we also used a fast pass on the Small World, right? The Small World ride. I had never been, remember, this is my first time being to Disney World, Magic Kingdom too. So I thought I knew what to expect with Small World because it's pretty popular thing, and people talk about it, and yeah, everyone knows the song that goes on while you're going through it. But I didn't know it was going to be good. I thought it was going to be a little bit creepy, you know, with these little dolls and they're dancing and stuff and singing. I thought it was going to be something that would kind of creep me out. But when I got on the ride and I was in it, it was way better and way cooler than I could have imagined. It was really neat. Everything looked big and extravagant. I liked it a lot. So if you haven't been on it and you think you know what to expect, I wouldn't underestimate it. It's actually really fun. Yeah. What else did I do after that? Yes, my wife's my wife thought that the Pirates of the Caribbean was her favorite, but then she's also a really big fan of Ariel, right? And I'm gonna try to figure out what that ride is even called. I think it's like Under the Sea, right? Anyways, the Ariel Under the Sea ride gimmick. So that one was pretty cool. That was the longest we waited in line. I think it was 40 minutes. And the line was really neat, because as you're going through it, you have stuff to look at. There's like little things in the wall or whatever, or, you know, some have TV screens with something going on it. That was kind of neat. And I believe that was another one that was the shells were moving and you had to get on a conveyor and try to jump on it again. But those shells were really kind of cool that you're riding in. And my favorite part, or one of my favorite parts of that ride, is when, you know, you first start going down this hill and the shell turns around so you're facing like up the hill. And Sebastian's like, "You're about to go under the sea." And I'm like, all right. But as you're going down the hill, I don't know how they do it, but it really feels like you're sinking into water. It was kind of a cool feeling. And then when you get down in there and you're going through the ride, my wife likes the music a lot. I thought that was fun too. And everything was so bright and colorful. It was really, really cool. And pretty fancy. I don't know. I thought that was neat how they had so much stuff going on in there. It was a lot of excitement. And they did a pretty good job also making you feel like you're going through the story and being part of the adventure. I think that's something that Walt always really enjoyed, was making people feel like they're, part of being immersed into the stories. So that was cool. And yeah, I think that's all we did. We only went on about 8 rides. In that time, we would take quite a bit of breaks where we would just kind of walk around a little bit, or we would sit in this one kind of area, sit down in, where it looked like you were sitting on like logs or something, and there was some lizards around, and out in the distance you could see Rapunzel's tower. That was our favorite area to sit near, and just kind of relax for 15-20 minutes and figure out what we were going to do. And we planned on staying there from open to close, but we had about an hour and a half drive to get to where we were staying. So once we got done with a few of the rides and the gift shops, my wife liked the big tent thing where it's like Pete's circus tent that you can buy stuff at. She liked that one just because it was a bigger gift shop. And but yeah, once we got done with all that, they started getting ready for the parade, right? They have that parade that goes on around 3 or 4 p.m. or something like that. And we were going to watch that, but I was starting to get really tired, and we had a long drive, and I didn't want to be tired while we drove. So we decided instead of staying on the entire day, we'd probably, maybe catch the Hall of... what is that show? Is it something about presidents, right? Yeah, the Hall of Presidents. So we were going to wait around for the next show of that to start. And then my wife was like, "You just want to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess we can go." So we were only there for, what is it? It opens at, the welcome show happens at 10 to 8 Eastern time. And we left around, like, I don't know, was it 3 or 3:30? So we weren't there very long, like 8 hours maybe or something. And we got in 8 rides, we had lunch, and had a really, really fun time. Oh, another thing I thought was really funny was once in a while I would see Peter Pan, and he would go skipping down through Fantasyland, and he looked like he was having a good time. I thought that was kind of neat that he's just randomly skipping around or whatever. But yeah, we didn't spend a whole lot of time there. We wanted to spend more, but I think if we go when we go next time, we'll probably stay a lot closer and try to stay there for the entire day at Magic Kingdom. And yeah, well, that's about all. I can't wait to go back, and I think it was a really good time. And I hope everyone has a good day, and thanks for watching.